here. I'm sitting here with Dickson, the founder, CEO, and director of Popcom. So I got first question I ask all my guests to kind of get the audio levels and everything set here. What did you have for breakfast today?
I had water because I'm intermittent fasting.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Part of my life, intermittent fasting. I eat around 3 o'clock.
Okay. Well, that's let's not keep you then too long here because you're probably going to have
I'm used to it. Trust me, I'm used to it.
An awesome lunch. So tell us a bit about the company and this awesome device you've created.
Yeah, thanks again, Shawn, for having me. I'm really excited. I love talking about crowdfunding and what's able to be done when you leverage your community and your crowd. Popcom is an automated retail technology company, and we have a hardware and software solution for self-service retail. So the easy way to say that is we make vending machines and kiosks smarter through data and analytics. And so we've created a whole operating system that allows these type of hardware devices for self-service retail to understand more about their customers.
So all the listeners can get a sense of what this device is. Anyone that's been to an airport has probably encountered a Best Buy vending machine for headphones and things like that. Yours looks like it was designed by Johnny Ive of Apple.
That is exactly the goal. Thank you.
I'm an Apple alumni, 10 years in marketing there.
Yes.
So I know the look, but in a word, this thing's beautiful. Give us a description of this.
Thank you so much for recognizing that. Apple was certainly my inspiration, and I always said to my team, I want to build the iPhone of vending machines. They're very sleek. The appearance is different as where the typical traditional vending machine it's a big box, rectangle with glass where you see the product and you push some buttons and the product falls out. And I really wanted to change the user experience because so many of us are used to now shopping mobile and just, shopping online. And so we don't have to actually see or touch the product anymore. We've been reconditioned. And so we're really used to touching things and being interactive and getting, messages targeted just towards us. So I wanted to bring that e-commerce mobile shopping experience to vending and brick and mortar. So the machines, they have a cabinet on the bottom, and that's where the product is stored, but you don't see the product. It's like a branded cabinet. And the focal point of the vending machine is a 32-inch monitor, which delivers targeted advertising, messaging, product suggestions, or any information that the retailer wants to display. We have these enabled with facial detection software, so we don't recognize who you are, but we detect your approximate age, your gender, and your emotions to be able to deliver targeted content based on those things. And then there's a second screen and camera, which is a point of sale, and that's where you shop. And there, it's just like shopping online, exactly like browsing online, but it's a touch screen. So you're looking at the product selection, you're looking at for more information, you can see demos, and the other camera really calculates how long you've spent on the monitor to understand your conversion rate, your engagement, and your emotions while shopping. And then it can make product suggestions to you based on your demographic profile. And based on as the machine learns more, it will understand how certain demographics may prefer certain products, and it will act accordingly.
That's really interesting because, when you engage, for lack of a better word, we'll describe it, the Best Buy machine, it still has like the glass showing all the products that are in stock, and you just kind of pick. It doesn't sell to you or offer customer service. And that seems like one of the big innovations of your product.
Definitely. So it does actually sell to you, gives you information, and it's very interactive as well. So it allows the user to dig deeper. I know like you go up to a typical Best Buy machine, there's like 7 brands of headphones. And so for me, it's like I'm indecisive. I want to know like what's the best headphone. I want to do some comparisons. I want to understand what I'm getting. And so we offer that. And then we'll make product suggestions, maybe ask a few questions and say, what are you exactly looking for? And then, okay, this is the right product for you. So it's very, very interactive. And that's what the change is. And we also, another big difference is for our particular customers who are retailers, we're B2B, is that we give our customers more insights on actually how people are engaging at their machine and how many people even walk by the machine, which is something that no other machine does currently.
Yeah. Yeah. So give me a sense, you mentioned your B2B. Give me a sense of the business model. Since we are talking about regulation crowdfunding and ultimately you're getting people to invest in the company, what is the revenue model for Popcom?
Yeah, we have 4 streams of revenue. We have hardware. So we make a small margin on the hardware. We sell it. They own it, operate it. It's like their store. The primary model and the income generating is through our software as a service. So we have a SaaS model, which means they pay every month to actually power that hardware. So it's kind of like you pay every month for a cell phone bill. They pay every month to make the machine work, to connect it to the cloud, to deliver the messages, the ads, and to collect the customer data and have access to the dashboard 24/7. We also generate revenue from purchases made on the vending machine. So like any typical e-commerce or commerce platform, we take a small percentage of every transaction in the form of a transaction fee. We also profit from advertisements. So we developed the advertising platform that allows them to sell ads on the machines, and we take a small commission, a percentage from the ads as well.
That's pretty fantastic. So, it's not just a hardware model. You do have, a long-term play with the customers.
It's very much like a Shopify model.
Exactly, but with a physical presence.
Definitely.
Yeah. So let's talk about that physical presence, because you have a really unique approach to what you think might be sold in this. So I'm guessing I'm not going to get my Diet Coke from your machine.
No, just because, we can accommodate a Coke, but it just doesn't make sense for maybe for them to pay for such an expensive relative to a $5,000, $10,000 Coke machine, and then the software that we offer. So really, it's targeting consumer retail products, mainly like beauty, health, clothing, anything you need on the go. We have customers like this, so we'll sell umbrellas and shoes on the go, and makeup and razor blades and shaving cream. And we also have a solution to allow customers who are licensed to do this to sell regulated products like cannabis and alcohol. So we do have cannabis companies and alcohol companies as customers. But again, anyone just can't sell alcohol in a vending machine. You have to have a license, and that's a government process. But, almost anything can be sold in them. That's in a range from a ring box to a hat box.
Right. And I think that the blockchain technology you're incorporating really gives you an unfair advantage when you do come to some of those more regulated products. Of being able to offer those. I was especially intrigued with, on the cannabis front, we live here in Detroit, and we're kind of like the cannabis capital
Definitely.
of America with all the retail presence and innovations in retail that are happening here. But it's still a cash business. With your technology and your blockchain, I think you're providing an interesting solution. Can you get into that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So the first way we use blockchain is for identity management, and that's to help keep customers' identifying data secure when they use that data to verify their identity and their ability to purchase and consume a product that is regulated and that requires that verification. So we never take any information from the customer. We don't know your name, we don't know your age or anything. All that is self-verified on their app that they have that's connected to our vending machine. So it's a one-time app download forever. And then you just, after that, scan a QR code. And that QR code will say, this is a verified identity that can purchase this product. It also can understand the legal limits, because every state by state, has a limit upon how much cannabis you can purchase in a day. And so it will indicate if you have purchased the legal, we won't allow you to purchase more than legal limit. Also, their alcohol companies want to limit the amount of alcohol you can buy in a vending machine, because there's no bartender there to check and say, okay, we're going to stop you. And of course, there's liability issues with over serving someone in alcoholic beverages. So the blockchain is there to keep the data secure so that it never can be accessed by anyone else, and you can only share data with who you want to with the QR code. Then the second way is also, of course, we raised money on a token sale last year, so we use blockchain in that way. But on the payment side, we cannot yet legally in dispensaries sell cannabis, or the dispensaries cannot sell cannabis and verify the ID and take payment yet, because the government hasn't made it either legal or illegal. It's no law to say you can or cannot sell an AG8 on a vending machine. So right now, we cannot allow them to take the payments unless they already have a processor. What we can't do is dispense. So we could take the payment, but we can't dispense the cannabis. They have to pick it up from a counter. So our first cannabis customer, there's a setup where you order the cannabis on the kiosk. You learn all the information about the strain. You pick what you want, add it to your cart. You pick it up and pay at a window. We have to take these steps until the government makes it legal to do a fully automated transaction in the cannabis space, which we're not there yet.
And I think, we're recording this and all living in the time of COVID-19, right? Where we're socially distanced, and I think we're becoming more aware of these human interactions that could pass disease. And that very process you're talking about right there is, falling in nicely with some of the social distancing processes that you're starting to see develop in retail, where, hey, maybe we are ordering from a kiosk now to go pick up our food later at a window or whatnot. And you're seeing that develop all over the place, regardless of regulation.
Absolutely. We've definitely received an increased interest in our business and even more customers because of the need for retailers to get back into business faster and be able to sell products direct to customer without that human element. So the automation is key. And then now you can even see it going to the grocery store. I mean, that's the only place we can go these days. But everyone is choosing to self-checkout and distancing themselves in that way. So even restaurants, the new model is curbside carryout, or ordering on kiosks. So we are definitely a business that's going to be able to sustain through and grow with the new way people are used to shopping and interacting.
Yeah, and I think especially, kind of looping back to what I think that killer feature is for a vending machine of being able to sell, compare, and offer alternatives to the shopping experience at the kiosk.
Definitely.
It is really, in my mind, as a former retail guy, as a former marketing guy at Apple, one of the killer features right there, that I just see why someone would want to invest. So let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about the crowdfunding. You were on your second Regulation C crowdfunding campaign on Start Engine. You've already raised $1 million last year. How did that? Tell us about that process. The first one.
Oh gosh, the first one was very hard because we didn't know what to expect. The laws were really new around Reg CF. Not a ton of people had done it. The process for approval was very tedious and long. Due diligence was long. Financial review process, and it took us like 6 months to get everything ready for that crowdfunding campaign. But we did eventually launch it December 2019, closed it December 2018, closed it April 2019. And we maxed it out at the limit of $1,070,000. And I was the first female founder to do that, to max out a Reg CF. And then we also did it as a token sale, which was very new and unique as well under the SEC rules, the Jobs Act, Reg CF. And then this year, because of course a scaling technology business needs more than $1 million to grow. But $1 million is a great, amazing foundation to create a market-ready product, identify product market fit, and then start to get early adoption and get customers and also sustain our team, which we did that. But we knew we needed more money all along. We knew a raise was coming the next year. Wasn't sure how we were going to do that. But we had so much momentum from the first Reg CF. It was actually oversubscribed. We had a waiting list of about $250,000 on the waiting list that was oversubscribed. I said, why not just tap into the Reg CF again? And so as soon as the time came for us to be past our 12-month window, then we just opened up another Reg CF. And they literally in day one, they just started flooding in. It was really amazing. During COVID, it was March 31st that we launched. So as of today, it's almost at 800,000. It's about 795,000 right now.
Yeah, I was going to say we're about a little over 30 days into it, and you're I would predict within a week you're going to max out again.
That would be amazing, and I do believe we will do that again. We got it down to a science now. I mean, we figured out how to really reach our target, investors and what kind of people invest, and create those like audiences and the outreach that will really convert very well.
So on that topic, let's time travel back a little bit. Let's go back to your first launch, and what types of things did you do to try to connect to potential investors via digital marketing or email lists or outreach?
So the first things, I mean, there's a series of things that I'll share, but it all started with me positioning myself to be a thought leader in the industry. You can't just come out of nowhere with a product like, I have this amazing product. People want to know, they invest in people. They want to know, who are you and why are you the best person to do this? And so I've been an entrepreneur. This is my 20th year. This is my 4th business. And so I already had an amazing community of supporters from my previous businesses. So I will start with that. It helped to have a track record. It helped to have a huge social media following, over 20,000 people on Instagram, at that point it was like 8,000 on LinkedIn, 10,000 on Facebook, maybe 5,000 on Twitter. So it helped to have that already. But that doesn't guarantee they're going to invest, right? So I started putting out content, just feeding them information about my industry, sparking their interest in my industry, because I'm in an industry that many people didn't know about. You see vending machines everywhere, but you don't think about them. Like, people will say like, oh, I never thought it was like that. Or I never knew 120 million people a day use vending machines. Or I never knew it was a $36 billion industry. I never knew. And
so you're talking about curated content, articles.
Curated content, article across all platforms, writing Medium blogs, writing LinkedIn blogs, doing posts, having a consistent information on Twitter coming out, consistent information on Facebook, consistent information on Instagram, feeding information, also positioning myself as a thought leader by contributing to industry publications, going to conferences, speaking at conferences. These are all things that, because I've raised now $3 million for this business, these are all things that I did to raise my first million, which was from venture capitalists and accredited angel investors. So I already had raised $1 million. And so I knew that I had to show that, the everyday person that doesn't have maybe a lot of knowledge about the industry, why, like, I know what I'm talking about, why they can feel confident in putting their money into me. So I highly recommend, like, just putting yourself out there, getting interest, building an email list.
I think, in our, we are on our, I don't even know, 400th crowdfunding campaign, as an agency, been doing this since the launch of Kickstarter. I think that is the X factor that most founders miss, is they look at, previously reward-based crowdfunding and now equity crowdfunding is this magical cloud of money that'll just, if I can put it up, it'll just rain down on me.
Right. They think that.
Yeah. And I think that they forget that the essence of investing, whether it's, buying your thing on Kickstarter or investing in your company so you can go out and innovate in this space, it's all about who is the person driving the ship. Do I believe in that person? Does that person know what they're talking about? And not only that, but know enough to skate to where the puck's going to be, not just follow.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's how that process. So when you started positioning yourself, I imagine this is years before you've even thought of this idea.
Yeah.
So
it was years before I thought of crowdfunding, but I started my business in 2012. And so, it's been a long journey, but I went to school for IT in 2000, so that kind of ages me. And I've worked in digital marketing since I got out of school in like 2001, in the early days of marketing. So I really understood the power of the internet and understood how to leverage it as a tool, and understood the type of content that I need to put out, because people will Google you and they're going to want to see something.
Right.
And so I started making sure that I had information. And the best way to do that is through micro influencers and micro blogs, because you may not be able to get those big media placements, but you can get a lot of smaller blogs and, podcasts to interview you. They're always looking for people to interview. And I never turned down any interview. Like, that was my policy before. Like, I don't turn down any interview. One listener is valuable. They have one reader is valuable.
Right.
And so I have a ton of content out there. And that's how I just said, I'm taking it. Anybody that want to talk to me, I'm taking it. Anybody asking me to speak, I'm talking.
I think another important point, and one of the reasons we do this podcast, we do it not only to share information. We are an agency. We do help people raise money with crowdfunding, but we are making the investment in ourselves of being one of the vectors out there that is getting this information to the public, even though we may not personally benefit from it. You do look at the cumulative mass. Now, I think this is going to be episode 190 or whatever it is, that is a massive amount of information that is coming through our channel that we've made the investment in. And, I think It brings up a really interesting point, that it's not just the immediate return of, oh, cool, I got this placement in an article. I think that one of the reasons your first campaign was so successful is you had this long tail of years of being a thought leader that now at that moment when you're asking for a raise and they're Googling you, they're not seeing that, oh yeah, 3 months before this launch, you started doing press, It's years and years and years of investment in yourself as a brand and as a leader of people, a leader of ideas.
Yeah. And I tell founders when I speak to founders, is from day one, we start a business. From that day, start putting it out there why you're the best person to do what you're doing. Even if you don't want nothing. I mean, the worst time to do something is when you want something. Do it when you just want to validate your business. You're not asking for money, but position yourself that way from the very, very beginning, because not only does these campaigns help me raise money, I get more customers. And that's always well. Revenue is always my priority, getting customers and selling. So it's something that I think a lot of founders, they're so heads down and focused and locked in, and they don't want to share. They don't want somebody to steal my idea, that they don't talk about it until they need something. And then people are like, who are you?
Yeah.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah, I have a good friend that has one of the top podcasts in kind of the entrepreneurial thought space. And, his whole brand was networking, building networking, interpersonal relationships, really understanding the tools of in-person networking and digital networking. And that's one of the things he emphasizes every day on his podcast is, get out there and network now, get your name out there now, make those connections before, build that cupboard up before you need it when you're making an ask, because that's what's authentic. They realize, if I'm going to invest in you, I want to know that, what you say is true, because I'm placing a bet on you, basically. There's no guarantee this is going to work, right? People may not, I think they're going to like it when they see it, when they look at it, it's going to work. But to some degree, it's a very informed bet. And when you're authentic and when you've laid this foundation that you're the right person to drive this idea to market, you're investable. Investors, especially in this space, in the Regulation CF space and on some of the other more accredited spaces, they can see through the BS right away. And all of a sudden, oh, look, she launched her campaign in April, and 2 months prior is when she started her Facebook account. That's not a very investable or authentic person. So that's the hard part. That's the part that takes time. Your campaign launches. What kind of activities did you do from a digital marketing standpoint, ads, email outreach, or whatnot, to target investors?
Yeah, I mean, again, constant social media updates. We designed a lot of graphics, and we did this before the campaign launch. We had our arsenal of graphics, hundreds of graphics and short videos that people can watch about the product. Graphics, every $10,000. So every $5,000 up to $250,000, we post a milestone. So we'll post like 10,000 raised, 15,000 raised, 20,000. Right. So we're flooding. People were seeing it go up. They're getting excited. They're seeing it come across their timeline. We're also posting frequently asked questions. So if a question gets asked over and over again, we'll just create a post of that question and answer to address it, get people excited. We'll post things about the technology. I mean, we'll just keep staying in their faces on all social media platforms. We also invested, after we reached about 250,000, which was my warm network, my warm money from people that I got from my personal email list, my personal social media, we launched Facebook ads campaigns, and we get an extremely high ROI on our Facebook ads. I mean, I think we got it just down to what, maybe it's their 5 or 6 seconds, get right to the point, pique their interest, get them to click. I mean, our campaign page today's have about 25,000 visitors or more, just people clicking on the page. And of course, they don't all convert, but it increases your conversion. So we're getting, to give you an example, our first Reg CF, we did a total of 25,000 in Facebook ads, and that pixel generated 300,000 in investments.
Yeah, that's incredible. And especially what we're finding in the reg space is especially, with Start Engine and WeFunder in particular, those two platforms, and emerging now in micro ventures, is the way it's set up. You're almost encouraging yourself, if you're seeing results on the Facebook ad spend, if you're spending $1 and you're getting $25 back in investment, that's encouraging you to reinvest in your ad strategy and reinvest in the ad spend, because it's you're not selling a thing at that point to a backer where you have to then ship a product and manufacture or whatnot.
Right.
You're generating investment quicker, and
right.
the odds of you oversubscribing this time to an even higher degree is pretty much in your favor,
Because now we learned so much the last campaign that we literally took that same strategy and just ran it right back. So, for example, our last campaign, it took us 90 days to reach where we have reached now in 40.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think that, we were talking earlier about investment in a network and investment in your personal brand on social media. I think another thing that the campaign founders don't realize is the same is true for your ad account, right?
Yeah.
That when you specifically with Facebook, so Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, that whole ecosystem, when you start cold on ads, you're not necessarily being rewarded by the algorithm with a higher click-through rate and a cheaper ad price. It takes some time and maturity and some interaction, and most importantly, quality of content. And as the more you do that and the better you get at it, the Facebook algorithm will reward you more with more organic reach and cheaper ad click-through rates.
Certainly, we've seen that. And, we did a lot of A/B testing last year, and we ran probably 6 different ads to see which gets the most. So we narrowed down to 2, and we just ran those 2. And we ran those same 2 ads from last year right back again. Literally the same ads. If they were converting so well, why change anything?
Yeah, exactly.
We just take a picture of the product. That was it. And we know what people like. But it takes some time, and you do have to burn through a little cash to figure out what people like. But not too much. You have to monitor it so you don't burn through too much.
And I want to come back to something you just said, a picture of the product. And I really encourage everyone to go to your Start Engine page as well as your website. And I handle the content side of Woodshed's house. I do all the strategy, all the ads. I'm building the visuals, building the video. And yes, the proper algorithm, the proper statement at second number 3, and these things are a factor into your ad performance. But nothing beats here's a beautiful image of a product, and I instantly get it the moment I look at it. And it's still. And yours does that. And, I don't have to describe this. I see it. You say vending, I get a picture of it. It says, welcome to Omnichannel. Okay, I want to click that. What is this thing? I want to learn more. And not all offerings and products are going to be as simple as yours, but I think people need to strive when you're doing ads. You have to get the data side correct, and you really, to all the campaign founders out there, you really have to find a way to effortlessly communicate your message in a single image. What do I get it? Do I have to deduce this, or do I say I want to learn more about that because that looks cool?
And very clean product shots. Like, just make the investment to get a very clean, crisp product shot, in front of a white background, like not on your iPhone. Like, just pay a photographer. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's quality shots.
It's such a struggle. I tell you, it's such a struggle. And, we had, I think last year on Start Engine alone, we had 4 campaigns match the reg, and similar to you, Money in the Bank. And I think that's a common denominator amongst those that maxed is, here it is. I can see it. And it makes our job so much easier when I have this well of amazing content where it's not just one good photo. Okay, let's hope this works. Or like you said, you had 6 different options to choose from and pick the best 2 performers out of that 6. So that, I think that's the key to this, that we find, and hopefully it resonates with you, is investment in yourself as a founder and a thought leader. Investment in the tools that you're going to need in the process of this. So, you had those graphics ready to go, you had those emails ready to go, and you made the investment in the content to be able to show a beautiful page and a beautiful product and let the investor kind of imagine this in a mall space or an office space or at the front of the movie theater or wherever this thing might end up. I can visualize, I can see that in that spot I shop. I like that, So lastly, as we wrap up here, tell us about how you're going to put the money to work. How are you going to scale your company and grow with these 2 years of CF investment?
Definitely, and it's getting to put to work now. What I love about Start Engine is you can take disbursements once you reach 120% after 21 days. So we've already got our first disbursement and definitely put it to work. And this round was really focused on scaling. The last round was focused on building the product that we could scale, that's fully manufacturable, improving our MVP software platform, making it really just a beautiful software platform. And now with all of the changes in retail, we want to be able to offer our customers, which are retailers, the machines faster and not all the money up front. So we want to be able to float some of that cost for them to get the machine out faster. So the prior model was they pay all up front, $20,000 for hardware. And last year they were ready to do that, but things have changed for them.
Yeah.
They've been closed for 3 months. And so we want to help them get back in business faster. So we want to really have more cash reserves on our side to help our customers get to market faster, and which again helps us get to market faster as a software company. We also need to make a few more hires. Hire a head of sales. I've been really leading sales for the past several years, which a founder should do. But now we're at a place to scale, and it's time, to hire someone, and I know exactly who we want to hire. And then, we're going to double down once everything opens back up on being at industry trade shows like we've been so far, but being at more of the shows. Hopefully they don't get canceled. The first quarter is the biggest shows for us, so hopefully they'll still be around. And, just have enough runway to get us to our next path to profitability. So giving us, my goal is with this raise and the next raise coming up, also crowdfunding, to get us 36 months of runway in a certain, economy where we are facing a recession, and make sure that we continue, that my team is, their jobs are secure, and that our products are secure for our customers. Okay.
So right now, you're at 794 as we talk here, I think on May 7th. There's about 56 days left. I think you got a week left.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the tiers. If I'm, a lot of advice out there for a project founder to kind of follow your best example. But what if one of our listeners want to become an investor? Talk about what they can expect from you.
So the different levels of investment. Tiers. Okay. First, I thought you meant the tiers, like how many painful moments.
That too.
I got many of those. But, really, of course, Start Engine has their own level, which if you're a previous Start Engine investor, there is a 10% Start Engine owner's bonus for people that actually invested in Start Engine as a platform. So they offer that. And then the silver tier, which we believe like every investor deserves to be, everybody's special. Like, no more special than anybody else. We treat everybody pretty much like the same. So we have investor meet and greet. So last year I went to 5 cities and hosted meet and greets, and we had like over 100 investors in each city. We hosted just get together. They could talk to me. We could just connect with each other, because at that point it was 2,200 investors in the first round. So we're going to host a meet and greet. Now, in lieu of like COVID, what we're doing is going to use a platform called Hop In and host a Popcom investor conference only for us. And it's going to be cool because I'll have my team presenting. You get to really connect with us, and it'll be very interactive and chat and talk and, all those on this virtual conference platform. But when the world opens up and is safe again, we will go back on the city tour again. We also have a private closed off Popcom investor Facebook group. There's about 500 investors in there. They're very active. We have a total now of 3,000 investors. So we're encouraging more investors to join the Facebook group. That's where I post updates regularly. And then we just like talk and chat and share opportunities. Also, if you invest the next tier, Then we will give you a shout out on Instagram, acknowledge you as an investor. So that's 500 plus. And on the platinum tier, we're going to have recognition on our website. So we'll have a section on our website. You get everything else the other ones got, and then recognition on our website. And then on 5,000 plus, we're going to create an investor wall in our showroom. We have a very beautiful retail showroom in Columbus, Ohio, where we're based. So we'll etch our investors' names on the wall. And then for the 10,000 diamond tier, which we do have several of those actually, everything else that you get, but then also dinner with me and my team in Columbus. And, that'll be a fun time.
Nice. When we can do it, when we can be amongst people.
We can do it. But in the meantime, the Facebook group is live. Of course, the website is up, and we'll be doing that conference. So we'll be doing that summit and letting everybody just get on and talk and interact with each other, which it's great to have a community of investors, because 3,000 people investing, there's more leverage there. And I really want to be able to share more opportunities with them besides just Popcom. And that's what I have done. I've shared other campaigns with them and said, listen, you guys, I invested in this. I'm sharing this with you guys. So leveraging 3,000 investors is a powerful group of people.
Yeah, and especially this type of investment with Regulation CF. Not only are they, financially invested in your success, but this is a megaphone that can tout your brand, your values, and your ideas, and lead them more business. Yeah,
they have. They're great.
Well, this is a no-brainer. This is to me, this is a beautiful campaign, well executed both times around. And the product is innovative. Dawn, you're crushing it. It's great.
Thank you. I'm going to send people your way for sure, because I get, as you can imagine, tons of people asking me to help them do crowdfunding.
Yeah.
I'm not in the business of that. So
exactly.
I'm happy to find you, because I'm going to send them to you. Trust me.
We love to help people. So project founders and investors alike, head over to Start Engine. She'll be on the cover, but if you don't see it, search Popcom and get on board this thing. Check it out as a founder. Everything is done correctly here. It's a beautiful page. If you're an investor, give it a good look. we can't encourage anything, but I'd say give it a good look.
Thank you so much.
It's a great platform. Well, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shawn. And
stay safe.
People your way. Stay safe.
Likewise. Stay safe and stay healthy.